Hey on everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles back again for another Hot Toys review, this time of the Light Armored Thor exclusive from the Dark World. And just to start off with, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Andy Butler. He's one of the collectors that follows the Kool Collectibles Facebook page, and he had pre-ordered this from Sideshow but contacted me when he made the decision to only stick with Star Wars. So he was wondering if I wanted to get this off of him, and he pretty much just organised with Sideshow to change the shipping address to my address instead of his, and that was it. So because I missed out on the pre-order and it became restricted from Australia due to whatever licensing reasons Marvel and Sideshow have, so I was lucky enough to get approached by him, and yeah. So thanks again, Andy. It's really appreciated. I'm definitely glad to have the figure. So I'll just give you guys a quick look now at the packaging, and the packaging is pretty nice. So I love the sort of gold in the shape of the hammer here, and I do have a soft spot for different textures on boxes, and I love the different texture on the edge and the overall sort of patterning feel on the cover. So you pretty much take that lid off and you get this sort of insert, which has some interesting art, I guess, and the credits. And that's the first layer of the clamshell with the figure and the accessories, and the second layer is the dynamic base, and that's just the bottom part of the cover, which on the back, nothing too special on the back, just a bit of artwork of Thor himself. So pretty good packaging all up, but I'll just set this up on the tripod and be back with you guys in a sec for the full review. Cheers. Alright, before we get on to the figure, I'll just quickly go through the accessories. So you get 6 hands spare, or 3 pairs of hands. So the usual fist, or these ones are the whole holding the hammer hands. He's got the fist on by default. Here are the sort of relaxed hands, if I can focus. And the paint app and detail is up to the usual Hot Toys standard. And these are the splayed out hands, and I'll probably end up using this one for his left and the hammer holding hand for his right. So I love the detail in the paint app and the veins and all that. Look at those palms, awesome detail. Dynamic stand wise, I honestly hate these things. These things are huge and yeah, just take up way too much space. If only they provided the option to have the standard black stand as well, which they used to do, and now they've, I guess, cut costs and just provide one stand. And I think I've heard that this is reused or somehow remolded from the evil Superman stand. But I probably won't be using this at all. It comes with the metal rod that you bend around, and you can put them in a flight pose or whatever you wish, and that's just the thing that goes around their waist. And they've recently included these back supports as well on the new dynamic stands, which is pretty good, but good for photo opportunities and so on, but not really. I don't really like them for long-term display. You get a couple of extra peg things to hold the cape in, and you do get this extra little tool which you're supposed to slide under the suit to help you peg these in, which I guess is a nice touch. I'm assuming you do it like that. And I'll just give you a closer look at the detail on that. Gotta love the, it's sort of like a goldish colour with some really nice detailing there, so they're pretty cool. Standard instruction book. And you do get his alternate cape or cloak or whatever you want to call it. I won't be using it, and I haven't even taken it out. I only took it out to sort of show you. It comes stuck to the inside of the front cover, and I think it is a nice sort of pleather material. So you pretty much just take his head off, take those pegs off, and put that on, and I think you can attach the pegs underneath, and then put his head back on, and it gives you that sort of cloaked look, which I'm not sure if many collectors would bother doing that, because I think his outfit there is pretty much the iconic Thor. Which brings me to by far the best accessory, which is his hammer, Mjolnir. Now, I don't have any of the previous versions, so I'm assuming they were metal, but this is metal, which is pretty damn cool, and I love the fact that it's all sort of weathered and scratched up, but still has all of that excellent detail along the edges. So I love that detail. Some sort of Asgardian language there, I'm not sure what that all says, but it looks pretty damn cool. And the handle is pretty nice too. Even the tip there is molded in some sort of detail there. And this is, I don't know if it's real leather or not, but you can't really move it, so it's sort of stuck in there somehow. But it seems to be fairly sturdy. I'm not going to try and pull on that too much. But overall, I think this is an awesome accessory and really brings out what's iconic about Thor. So now, that's pretty much it onto the accessories. For the accessories. For the figure itself, it's almost like a love-hate. I love the detail of this thing. But man, there are some pretty major things that I'm scared of, so I'll just stop for a second, raise this, and get back to you guys in a second. Just hold on. Alright, I'll just start from the top, I guess. My favourite part of the figure is definitely the head sculpt. It's probably divided the collecting community. Some really hate the open mouth look, while others think it's pretty damn good, and I think in hand it does look pretty damn amazing. So if I can get some focus on there, the paint application on this head sculpt is some of the best I've seen from Hot Toys. You get the little strands here, which are soft plastic, and it does look best in that sort of front on, face down sort of look. But just there have been some sculpts before where the paint app has been pretty flat. But this one has lots of really nice detail and flex and skin texture. I love the beard and the goatee and so on. Even the molding in the hair is pretty damn awesome. So you just get the full effect of his long hair. I guess his hair's gotten longer as the movies have gone along. And this particular incarnation from the Dark World is I think the best so far. And the teeth, you can sort of see them under certain lighting, so if I just sort of shine it in light there, you can see the top teeth and the bottom teeth, but in most lighting you don't really notice the teeth at all, and it just looks like he's naturally sort of breathing or getting ready for battle. So overall I think the head sculpt is pretty damn good. Now on to the other details. I love the armor. I guess the only negative about the armor is that it's so tight and restrictive that you really don't get any ab crunching or torso movement at all. So other than that, the detailing is pretty damn good, and I love how they've used, I don't know how Hot Toys does it, but they've used so many different materials and textures on this thing. So you have the sort of hard molded plastic and paint there, and then you get this pleather skirt type thing with the blue fabric underneath, and then of course you get the gorgeous cape, which I think they've done really nicely. I'm not sure if my camera's picking that up, but it does have that sort of dirty weathered look towards the bottom quarter, which gives it a nice realistic feel to it, so it doesn't look like it's perfectly clean. But then you get, so you have the blue skirt thing underneath there, and then you get this sort of silvery plasticky material that then gets sewn onto this leather, with then the kneecaps in fabric, and then you transition again to these shin guards and the boots. So there's just so much layering and texturing, it's pretty damn impressive. Now I guess with one of the problems I've got with my particular figure is the legs aren't completely the same length. So if you have a look here, on my knees, the knees seem to be around the same position, around that point, but then as you go down the leg, here you'll see the bottom part of the leg there with the black foam thing, whereas the foam part of this particular leg is slightly higher. So this leg is slightly longer, which is why you're sort of tilting to the side a little bit. I did try and push that in a little bit and had a bit of a butt clench moment where I thought I snapped the ankle joint, so I'm not even going to bother trying that again. There is like some clear little plastic in there as well, so there's no way I'm going to try that again, and I'll just put him in a pose where that little tilt you can't really notice. But there is quite a bit of articulation in the ankle joint, so you can move that all around and then adjust the shin guard as you see fit. And I love the boots there. They've even got the little flecks of dirt and so on to give it that weathered look, which is pretty damn cool. So there's the detailing, and I guess the other big thing is his arms, the rubber arms. Now I've seen some terrible pictures of his arms online, particularly in OSR, where because they're sort of painted rubber, and if I just lift it up here, you'll see the edge of the torso. So if you're not careful when you're trying to rotate the arm forwards and backwards, and potentially even moving it out to the side, you'll definitely start getting some paint rub. And people have shown pictures of their paint on their the shoulder joint here, where the paint's pretty much all just torn to shreds. So I'm pretty careful about how I'm moving this arm. So the gap, my lighting's probably terrible, but you can see the sort of hole where the arm fits in. It does give a range of motion, so I'm not going to try and push it out too much further than that. And you can move that joint up and down within that hole. So you just need to sort of pick a position where it's sort of centered maybe, because you can fold it down as it's low, or to have a gap at the top there, or you can push it up and sort of adjust it down, so there's the shoulder line is a little more natural, I guess. And I guess the problem on some figures is that the gap isn't perfect on either side, so it's not symmetrical. So in some position it will probably rub, so you just have to pick one that's natural enough and one that you're happy with in the pose that you choose. And I'll definitely be picking a pretty museum-like pose, but we'll see how we go. Now I guess the other complaint I had, if you have a look here, the gauntlet sort of, you have to remove the gauntlet to get rid of all the plastic, which was my other complaint. There's so much plastic on this damn thing, it's just a pain to get it all off. But once you do get it off, you put the gauntlet back on, and you'll see on my one here, the wrist fits in pretty nicely with the gauntlet, so you can't even really see the ball joint of the wrist peg. But on this one, no matter what I do, you always see the bloody ball joint. So I've tried rotating this and moving this down, and so I'm not sure how I need to rotate this. I've been told that sometimes you can sort of rotate the ball joint itself, which I thought I did try. But yeah, it's pretty much trial and error to see how you can hide that. But for some reason here you can see it on the inside quite dramatically, but on this side you can't really see it at all. So you've got to find a position where the gauntlet and the wrist peg sort of fit nicely in tune with the hand as well. So that's one of my other complaints. And I guess my other complaint is these gauntlets, you can't really adjust them so that they're symmetrical. So maybe I'm just too OCD, but I like it where the gauntlet on this side is the same on this side. But here, that's pretty much as far in as I can rotate it. And so, I mean, it doesn't look too bad now. But here I can't really rotate it to the side, whereas this one here I can pretty much make it face that way, whereas I can't on this one. So, and you don't want to really try it too hard, because you'll probably end up damaging the rubber suit underneath. So we'll have to see how we go there. But just in the arms, the detail in the arms is amazing. I love you can see all the veins. And oh yeah, I guess, you know, even my wife, when she first saw the figure, she did the approving eyebrow raising. So even the girls like this figure. So you can see all the veins in the elbow joints there. You can bend the arm. I'll see if I can sort of demonstrate it. I'm not going to try and bend the arms too much at all. So you can pretty much get it up to almost 70 degrees, I think. But you will start getting creasing in the elbow there, and I'm not going to risk that with this particular rubber, particularly with some of the cracking we've seen on some of the other rubbers for the ED 209 and so on. So I'll definitely keep a straight arm pose, and probably have his arm out front and him holding the hammer behind him or something like that. So definitely be careful of that. What else can I say? The armored version, I think, is slightly different in that the joints are all ratcheted. So I think even the elbow joint is ratcheted, which I guess I don't really mind too much. But I guess that sort of restricts the posing to certain angles and so on. So each to their own. I prefer this one because it's more of a sort of classic natural look to Thor, and hopefully the rubber doesn't deteriorate over time. Now, I did pre-order the full armored version from a local Australian retailer, but now that I've got this one, I'll probably definitely be selling that on. So, and I guess, yeah, for the Australian stock, I don't even know when that's going to come. They're normally 2 to 3 months behind the rest of the world, so we'll see how we go with that. But for those lucky enough to get light armored Thor, he's definitely a great looking figure. He's the second figure out of the Avengers that I've got since I got Hulk, and I've got Captain America. Should be in the country now, so I should get Golden Age Cap tomorrow or Friday. So definitely subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all the reviews that I've got coming. So I've got yeah, Golden Age Cap, a couple of Masterpiece Transformers as well. So hope you guys like that quick look. Just be careful if you're getting him. I'll be posting up a whole bunch of pictures as well on the Facebook page and the website, so that should give you a closer look at the hair sculpt and some of the other posability. So I hope you guys like that quick look, and keep in touch, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.